Hello everyone and welcome to Don't Be Bored. Today we're going to dive in and take a look to see if Ticket to Ride Map Collection 8 is one for your collection. Should it be added? Are the two maps that are included, which are Iberia and South Korea, are they absolute bangers, or should they be chugging out of the collection? Well, let's take a look, and just so you're aware, Asmodee did send it to me for the review. Let's start with Iberia, as it's the big main one on the box. This is all about going to these festival cities, as well as a twist on how you actually get those destination tickets, those route cards that are your objectives. Both of the maps in this case do drafts, but Iberia takes it one step further. At the start of the game, you're going to get 6 of those objective cards that you can normally gain throughout the experience of Ticket to Ride, and you're actually going to be drafting them. That means you take a look at the 6 that you are dealt, you keep one, and you pass the rest on. And you keep doing that, being passed cards, choosing one, and keeping it until you have, again, 6 chosen cards. You then get to throw 2 away. Hopefully the other 4 kind of work together. Like in normal Ticket to Ride, you're trying to complete these. You'll win the points on them if you do, and you'll lose them if you don't complete them, and link those 2 different destinations up via your trains. The twist doesn't stop there, because actually you can't draw more destination tickets as per normal, at least until partway through the game. A special card is shuffled into the main train cards deck, and when it's revealed, you do another draft of 6 destination tickets. And again, once you've got your 6 from that draft, you have to keep 4, exactly 4 of them. So you'll have 8 destination tickets to actually work towards throughout the entire experience. And only after that second draft are you allowed to take more from the pile. The tweaks don't actually finish there. Another tweak is that shuffled into the train deck are these festival cards. When they are revealed, you're going to take that out, just turn another card over or draw another card, and that gets placed near the edge of the board, basically saying, oh, Valencia has just had a festival, and the next person to build into that city, well, they get to take all of those. So all of those Valencia cards, if there's multiple there, sat sort of ready to be claimed. And they are a set collection-y sort of scoring thing. The more of them of a location you've got, the more points they're worth at the end of the game. Other than these tweaks, the Iberia map plays very much like the Ticket to Ride Europe. So what do I really like about Iberia? I really like the extra choice that you are getting from those festival cards. This location over here, well, I don't need it for any of my destination cards. I'm not trying to link that in any way into my network. But there's a load of those cards just piled up, say, next to Barcelona. Well, if in that case, if I build into there, even if it's a 1 train route or a really small route, that sort of thing, I'll get a point or something, but I'll also gain all of those cards, which is hopefully going to score me a load of bonus points at the end of the game, because I've got a load of them from that claim. And it just kind of drags your attention away from what you're normally supposed to be doing. And I like it when objectives do sort of trip you up and make you, oh, well, I could grab some points from over there instead of doing the thing that's scoring me points over here. So I like that. The only issue I have with it is it does feel like quite a lot of admin, because there's a good amount of them shuffled into the train deck. First of all, you've got to shuffle them in, and second of all, every time one comes out, you've got to work out where on the map it is. If you know the Iberia, Spain and Portugal and touch of France, that sort of region very well, you'll have no problem. Oh, where's Seville? Oh, it's over there. That sort of thing. But when you don't know every sort of the big places, the destinations that are on the board, if you don't know where one is, it is a bit like, oh, where's this one? And you scan around, and then you, right, oh, there it is, right, leave it near that somewhere, and then draw and carry on. So there's a bit of admin to that. And it also means it can get a bit cluttered around the board, as, oh, there's a load of these cards just around, and some slightly sat on the score track because there's no obvious place to put them. The rulebook just sort of says, put these cards near the city that they're for. I like that because it does mean that, oh, I'm building into that city and these cards that are near it, oh, it's obvious that there's still some there for me to claim. But it just means that, like I said, sometimes it's over the score track a little bit. Sometimes there's that admin of putting the cards out. It's not much, and once you've gone through that train deck once, there's not going to be any of them left in there. They're all already played. But it just feels like you've got to do an extra thing, a bit of admin to do with that train card deck. It's a cool sort of set collection bonus points thing, and I think it's worth doing. It just is something extra that you have to keep track of. There's also the twist that because you are drafting your tickets, you've kind of seen the routes that other people are going for, and you're also hesitant to commit too much to claiming stuff on the board, because you know part way through the game you're going to be drafting 4 more. 8 tickets? Now, I've finished some games of Ticket to Ride with like 4-5 destination cards because I've tried to end the game quick. In this, you're guaranteed that you have at least 8. And it just means you're hesitant in the early stage to be claiming loads of routes, using all your trains up, and then going, oh, do I have enough trains to actually claim all of these? So the drafting adds a good sort of a layer of choice without overcomplicating the game. Of course, once you've played Iberia, you could always flip the board straight over and play South Korea. And, well, straight away, I love these map packs that they do come with 2 boards. It just means it feels better value for money. You're not just getting 1 experience, you are getting 2, and they are different. In South Korea, you also do draft your first hand of destination cards, those route objective cards. Once that initial draft is done, it's then just choosing from you just draw from the pile, and you're able to do that straight away. There's no second draft, there's no festival cards. Instead, there is a province board that's going to be endgame bonus scoring, and these express cards that give you a little bonus on your turn. And I really do love these. I think, enjoyed the South Korea side a little bit more out of the 2, and it was because of these express cards. So let's start there. What are they? Well, you get at the start of the game a +1, +2, and +3 express cards. And on your turn, you can trade one of those in to make your turn better. So you're drawing train cards from the market. You can play your +2 and then you just draw 2 additional cards from the top of the deck. Or maybe you've done your just +1 and you get 1 from the top of the deck. It just feels like that turn is instantly bigger. The next thing you can do when drawing from that destination pile, the objective cards, you normally draw 3, keep 1. Well, maybe I use my +3 and I draw 6. I still only have to keep 1, but I could keep a good amount of them if I wanted. So it's giving you a way of getting a load of new objective cards at once if you want. But those express cards are one-shot things. If I've already used my +3 to draw additional train cards earlier in the game, it's spent. I can't use it again. The last thing you can do is when claiming a route, you're still going to trade in your cards. Let's say it's a 6 red route. You're still going to be trading in 6 red cards, maybe with a combination of those multicoloured locomotives, to claim that route. You're still going to score the points for it. A 6 route, that's 15 points, moving you round the tracker. But you can, overspending cards, and you can also use those express train cards to add to the number. Why would you do that? Well, let's say you've claimed that 6 red route. You can look at the province map and place an additional one of your trains onto the 6th spot on the red line. If you want, you can spend that +1 express train card to maybe make it to 7. Why are you doing this? You're all doing it because at the end of the game you compare all of the numbers you've got on each coloured track. So let's say you've got on that red, you've got the 6, but you've also claimed a 2 route and done it then. Your total is 8. If no one can beat that total for the red, you're going to score the most points. And the points is dependent on the player count, but let's say it's at 3. The person with the most for each of the coloured routes is going to get 10 points. Second place is going to get 6. It's a nice little almost majority thing that's going off at the side, giving you bonus points at the end of the game. You have to keep track of it to some extent. But normally it's only when you're claiming a 3, 4 or above sized route that you're really thinking about it. And maybe you're just picking up a 1 or a 2-1, maybe to get rid of some trains to end the game earlier. Or maybe you're doing that just to, oh, I'm on 6, they're on like a 2 and a 4. Well, if I claim the 1, I just get ahead of them for that bigger bonus points. It's not really a rules change, but the other sort of quirk with the South Korea board is that all the regions are coloured in terms of their routes. It's not like all blue routes dotted around. All of the blue routes are in one chunk section of the board. And this is a really interesting change for 2 reasons. One, when someone else is taking, say, the black cards from the market, you know that they're eyeing up a route, most probably, because there's a few grey routes that you can use any colour on, but most probably they're eyeing up a route in the black region of the board. And then you're starting to go, okay, I need one of those routes, and you get a little sort of rush. I need to get that one claimed before my opponent, that sort of thing. I really like that you can almost work out where people are actually going for, because you can then be panicked and, oh, I need to claim a route quickly, but also it's just an interesting thing that's a bit different from other Ticket to Ride games. However, it can mean if you need a yellow card because you're trying to claim a yellow route and they're all in that one area yellow, you don't necessarily have a choice. You have to get a yellow. Whereas normally it's like, okay, I could claim this 4 yellow, but if I don't have any, maybe I could use 3 greens and 2 blues or something like that to do the same thing. And a lot of the time I found with the South Korea map, you don't have that option. You either, I'm doing a yellow route, there's a long way round that I could go, but I really need some yellow. So there's that frustration maybe that your colour's not coming out of the deck, but I think you do get that with any Ticket to Ride game. It's just maybe a little amplified because of, well, the sections, all of these routes in this area are yellow, so you need that yellow card. There's also one thing with both of these boards, I briefly mentioned it with the Iberia one, and it is the fact that if you don't know the regions, it's going to just take a little bit longer. For instance, we live in Europe, we know the map of Europe pretty well. To be honest, we know the map of America relatively well as well. But when it comes to Iberia and when it comes to South Korea, well, there's a lot of places, certainly on the South Korea map, we'd never heard of, and I'm not entirely sure we know how to pronounce them either. Okay, we know where Seoul is and a few others, but there's a lot of places on that board we didn't know where they were, or even, like I say, necessarily how to pronounce them correctly. And that does mean that the game is a little slower than your normal Ticket to Ride game, as you're just trying to work out the locations. The destination tickets do a great job though, I do find. You know, it indicates very clearly, you can hold it sort of in the same orientation as the map, and it's got a blob on one end, blob on the other, and you can very sort of obviously see the rough region you need to try and search for that name. It does take you those few extra seconds, like I say, you just end up checking your destination, your objective cards that little bit more. So overall, what did I think of the Ticket to Ride Map Collection 8? Well, I really do like the South Korea board. I do think there is that frustration because you might get, oh, I'm not getting the pink cards that I need, and I'm trying to build in the pink sort of area of the board. There is that. You're always going to get that a little bit with Ticket to Ride. I just love the fact that you've got this sort of extra interaction with that province board, that you're trying to claim big routes and, oh, I'll claim the 5 on the white track and see if someone can try and beat me and beat my total on that for the bonus points. I find that was really cool. I liked that in both maps it was an interesting start to the game because you're drafting the objective cards. Well, I then somehow know a lot of the objectives that are around the table. So I might know, oh, there's a lot of us trying to claim routes in the top left of the board. So maybe I need to claim those early, that sort of thing. I like that. The Iberia one, having the double draft, well, it certainly mixes things up because you're almost worried, oh, what are the second wave of cards going to make me try and link up? Do I want to commit to this area of the board too heavily yet? Probably not. So that's quite a cool sort of tweak to the experience. And those cards, those bonus cards that are coming out on the Iberia map, I like the idea of them, the set collection. It was just, it gets a little bit sort of a pain when you're like, oh, this one, where is this location? That sort of thing. But I do think if you like Ticket to Ride, these are some good sort of twists on the sort of core experience. And certainly if you know the regions of Iberia or of South Korea at all, I think they will be absolute bangers for you. Hopefully this has helped you sort of at least know what the maps do and their sort of some quirks, and maybe let you know if it's going to be one that you should be adding to your Ticket to Ride collection. Let me know in the comment section below if it's helped, and also what is your favourite Ticket to Ride map collection. Let me know in the comment section below. And until next time, well, have a Ticket to Ride train-filled good day.